sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is caught. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tome of cockatoos into your pocket. It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort. A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang-bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own. You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Ouch, that must hurt. Not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it. Ooh. Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. It must be glorious to behold, dark pink and snow white. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly gray and white. The Seminoles name, bang-bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're the mediocrity embodied. This unsung bird belongs on your heraldry. Wow, so someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal. Of course you do. Maybe some regulations and a usual pistol to go with them. It's official. My lord's coppo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic. There, on that balcony, do you see it? Straight into a bull ring with no prep talk? No, no, no. It's your first sales negotiation. Savvy's got to give you the do's and don'ts. Artistos are known to repel wealth. It bounces off their skin like rubber. The moment a reasonable business proposal enters their periphery, they go and get political. Nonsense. No one repels wealth. The businessmen just don't know how to entice them. What you need to do is lure them in with a strong one-liner. Get them on your side before you've even finished a sentence. Show us what you've got. Pretend you're facing the Skull Girl. Boring. Boring. Yawning my jaw off here. Next, it's polite. What's wrong with being polite? Mamma mia, if this isn't the top seller in La Delta. Everyone knew you'd eventually get it right. It's a decent start, but you might need to change strategies down the line. Okay then, off you go. Let's see what you've got.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? What's that? The piggy's looking to get into the art market with a snappy business pitch. Watch out, or you'll be auctioned off and face the chop.
The lieutenant straightens his back, waiting to see where this is going. Are we witnessing a performance, perhaps? Play along. She stares at you, fearlessly, waiting for a response.
This little persona will grind you into a sausage if you don't stop. I'm not a sellout. The whole point of graffitio being on the street is so everyone can see it. No charge, expression for all.
There has to be a way to convince her. Everyone has a price. Forget this public art. She must have something private and esoteric. Something that tormented her until she brought it into existence.
I don't do personal, if that's what you sickos are after. No navel-gazing pieces about what it means to be me. No one cares. I know I don't, so sod off, pig. You've got nothing to change my mind.
Perfect. She isn't interested. All the more reason to move on from this little side task.
Your partner here gets it. Anything else I can not do for you, gentlemen? Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Sure, she's all draped up in ironic detachment. but everyone's gotta eat.
Great. Your little foray into the art world continues.
Blah, blah. I'm not for sale, Piggo.
Told you these artist types repel wealth. Turn it around. It's the seller who wields the power in this relationship.
Uh-oh, you're manipulating me. I do like a chance to rip off some stupid Piggos. And I need a pack of cigarettes. And some paint. Okay, whatever, Piggy. Time to leech off each other like the parasites we are. Let me see what I've got.
Even the lieutenant leans closer to inspect the work.
Here. Happy?
Interesting. You can immediately see multiple ways to interpret this piece. What is the experience that the artist is trying to create? What bodies and spaces are they seeking to explore? She juts out her hand, letting you examine the piece. 3 red splotches have been shot at a diagonal across the surface. Tinier spots of various colors fan out from the same point of origin.
Well, Piggo, what do you make of it?
It's one of those ink blot tests, an invitation to connect with the divine.
It's a sign. Better pay up, or you'll anger the terrible beast from... What did you say? The threshold. Careful now. I heard it has a soft spot for smoked pork.
Her improv skills could do with some work. That was a pathetic performance. Are we supposed to be scared? None of us are scared.
Signature? Oh yeah, Pigster. I sneezed while holding a wet brush. Paint flecked onto the canvas, and voila! You don't get more signature than that. That's what I said, Piglet. 67,000 real, and your head on a silver tray.
Remember, this isn't about the art or the artist. This needless purchase implies your excessive wealth. Art comes across as more tasteful than simply hanging cash on the wall.
That it? All right. It all helps.
Splendid. Your first physical asset. But no time to stop. Money grows old unless it keeps moving. You need to find a buyer, preferably someone who will pay a high price for such an exclusive piece from a local artist. Nah, she'd probably send the entire Wild Pines legal team after you if she knew you were trading goods around their harbor. She's ready and poised for a hostile takeover. Doing business with communist dictatorships only works if you've got long-term plans in place, which you don't. And become a small-time art peddler? No, think bigger. There must be someone around here with heavy pockets and an interest in the local art. Tell you what, have a wander around and I'll let you know if I hear any wealth. Yes, if you know what to listen for. That's what happens when you've been in the game for as long as I have. Your senses get tuned in to more opportune frequencies. I got some vibes from that container you moved with the crane in the harbor. Let's see what's inside. There isn't a door yet that Savvy's VIP status couldn't open.
Look at us, coming to an agreement. Who'd have thought? Anything else you want? I'm in a good mood, but it won't last long.
One brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet. You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West Rivisholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey! Stop right there! How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter? So what do you think we know? Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Old man, it doesn't matter. You'll be long gone before his greatness is recognized. Yep, old as fuck.
Yeah, man. It's like at death's door. No wonder you know nothing about the future. You won't be there.
Judging by that, Van Eyck is some sort of musician. Or killer.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
Ah, you'll see for sure once we're in. It's the last thing you'll ever see before the void consumes you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're only saying practice things for now, so we don't mean no harm to the Skulls brand, or to you.
This is definitely something the Skulls would say. But we're not trying to encroach on the Skulls branding anyway. On the contrary, we're just here to market it. We think of it more like two franchises merging. You know, us two and the Skulls. I really feel like we would add more to the table. Spice things up here in Martinez, you know. Get the old machine of pain and suffering oiled up real good.
What would these guys have to offer any organization?
Whatever, man. Work is for pussies. You wouldn't get it anyway. Hey, we could be just as hard. Like pavement on top of pavement, or a brick on top of another brick.
Or a grave on top of a grave.
These kids have the vocabulary, but might be missing a brain. Wouldn't a grave on top of a grave be just a big hole? What's hard about holes? Filling them up, baby.
Mm-hmm. What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Though he seemed lacking in vocabulary, it seems that the young man has expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Yes? What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you? That ride is fucking...
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Why?
And what kind of business is that exactly?
The lieutenant notices your agitation and opens his mouth to speak, then decides against it and merely shakes his head.
Okay, we get it. You look like total shit. We look flashy as hell. What about it? It's shit.
Fine. Fuck it. Here. Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
It's true. He simply can't. It's called empathy. Wow, I did not see that coming. You better wear that jacket with pride.
Fuck that! You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your badge.
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
No. He's like a volunteer lawyer. A total bitch. Cites law and does dishes. You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
I'm not wearing that jacket. I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all. The need will not arise.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us.
Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions. And what is that?
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the pill. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that. That is exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale Transport.
No offense. But your partner? Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk.
Neither is spelled transportation. Life is transitory. Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything, even things I never knew. The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot, in the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation, on the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece, when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father, and I never shot her innocent Dolores Day. Heroic doses, Herifia. Heroic. thought insertion, dithering, the Grad Catalan Magistral. It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this. What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor. Like looking into the ocean at night, in the dark. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined. Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets and electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
In the belly of an airship, behind the cell windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it. No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
Yes. They say there is a point, one that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south? It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not Pale drivers. Way beyond the established Pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from. No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child rowing on the lake. Josiana.
There is nothing more to do now. She's far away. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered emotion. A child descending.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective. Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
There, in that container you moved, there's something rich in there. We've got to get inside. Opening the door. Come on, I shouldn't have to tell you that. Get me up close and I'll show you how it's done. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If any, step aside, rank and file. Savvy's at the top of the VIP list here. That's right, out of the way. Whoa, watch it. How'd he get in front? Little slime ball. Thank you. Now, are you ready? It's time to make our entrance. At first, your knock rings hollow on the door. And then, just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
Stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Savvy, was it? Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And your name is Savi, right?
We've hit the big time. This is the man who's going to make you rich. Always rely on your friendly neighborhood swindler.
Mr. Diodore, I think there's been some confusion. His name is, in fact, not Savi. Let's start over. I am Lieutenant Kim Kisoragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy. I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Precisely, Mr. Dubois. You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economic equality and fairness, but tell me, where would we be without liberalism? In caves, walking each other with bombs. A nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence. Which brings us back to the essential truth of modernism. Where we are right now, the freedom of mankind can only be derived from the free flow of capital. It is truly, it's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself spiritually.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual. The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998 repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things. But calm down. I am but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billionaire.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who is unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly? Reversal. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that. Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, bail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that. There it is. I knew it as soon as you did the Milton 32 eggnog. A fellow entrepreneur. The art market, you say? Sure, hit me with it, as they say. I'm keen to hear what you have in mind. Yes, the special lock that helps us ultras identify each other. I almost forgot it myself.
It's a secret handshake of the ultra-rich, distributed through private access yacht clubs and inter-isolary balls for the heirs and heiresses of the old money. Where you picked it up is a mystery.
But I'm getting sidetracked. Tell me about your business proposal. I'm all ears. A painter? I'm always looking to expand into new asset classes. Who's the artist? Not even a pseudonym? Aha! And the name of the piece?
There's no sign of a reaction for a good 3 seconds. Then
wonderful things, aren't they? Names. They can completely change your reading of a person, or in this case, a painting. Before I invest, I need to know more about the work. How do I know this asset is going to appreciate with time?
This is the only question that matters. Fail to come up with an interesting hook, and he's out. The comfortably wealthy want their views challenged when making a purchase. Don't hold back.
I see. I'll be honest. All I see are splatters that lack any true intention.
Why are you letting this opportunity slip away? Give him a story, an experience. Make him want to run away with this painting and marry it in secret.
Please, if there's something I'm missing, I'd love to know what it is. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Tell me, what's their story? Did they suffer? Pray tell. Any details? I've heard some struggling families have to sell their organs to pay the rent. There is also the terrible misfortune of having to go get your own groceries when you're poor. Which one is it?
You still have an option to not go along with this senseless sensationalism.
Just a hollow husk. What a sad, sad story. I should ask Rhea to look into this. Maybe the Foundation can set up some scholarships for cases like these.
You've reeled him right in. That's got to have done it.
Well, I think that settles it. You found the buyer, my friend. A pleasure transacting with you. However, there are a few complications. I don't have the cash on me right now to pay for art of this caliber. What I can instead offer are shares in Mauer Koslai Mercury Group.
Shares. That's even better. You can do a lot with them if you play your cards right.
They're the very unit of capital. You can buy them, sell them, even sit on them if you think it wise. Trust me when I say this. Becoming a shareholder means you are part of the big leagues. I bought these shares many years ago for a steal. As predicted, Mauer Koslai Mercury's operating profit has increased year on year, and there is no signs of it slowing down. People always need Mercury, which means you could net yourself a considerable profit if you need some immediate liquidity. But if you don't mind waiting, I expect the value of these shares to double within the next 5 years.
Seems like a clever investment. Definitely worth thinking about if you care about your future.
It's a Gotwaldian Ilmaran company that specializes in extracting mercury. It's seen massive growth lately due to the discovery of Ryotvark mercury. Have you heard about it? At the moment, it's trading at more than 1.5 times the price of gold. That's because it's an essential component in the next generation of radio computers. RAM's using it in their next model. I can't wait for mine to turn up. My predictions say its improved speed and azimuthal range should increase my trade efficiency by a whopping 46%. You really should order one if you don't want to be left behind.
A step forward for technology, yes, but only for those who can afford it.
Splendid!
It looks almost ethereal. Is it even real?
This is a stock certificate. Well, a photocopy of one. Nevertheless, it's solid proof that you hold shares in malware Koshline Mercury Group.
The light around the individual in front of you changes somehow as you take the scroll. You can't figure out what's different. You just know that it is. Something's rattling within you. It feels like the first penny dropped into a piggy bank. The Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient for you and this individual has now dropped to 0.9989, repeating.
That concludes our part of the transaction. Once you've turned over the asset, my people will get the legal ball rolling. Another deal complete. Welcome to the big leagues! If you haven't already, I'd advise you to consider hiring a personal brand strategist. What don't they do? They practically do everything, from spotting good investments and analyzing design trends to booking a lunchtime table at the prestigious Landrosy. Unfortunately not. I only know the ones who work with multi-millionaires and beyond. But take a look around, and I'm sure you'll find one. Personal brand strategists are attracted to money like sharks to blood. You'll find having a network opens many new doors for you.
Here's an avant-garde proposal. What about Idiot Doom Spiral? He used to hustle and hang out with the sales hawks and trend pushers of the marketing world. Let's ask him if he knows any personal brand strategists. Oh, and we should see what this net worth can do. Might score a discount, or better yet, get you some free goods. That's the kind of thing that really makes you feel like a hotshot. Ask the local merchants about it if you get the chance.
So, what's next on the agenda? Why go so soon? I feel we've so much more to talk about. Well, until next time.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
If you must. But please hurry.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is... René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René? You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money...
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
That's teen speak for no. No discounts.
Excuse us. My partner here of course knows that net worth is not legal tender.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't...
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything...
Okay. Uh-huh.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? 57th, over.
In the cabin, you...
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Ah, yes! Oh, a superpower, right. Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you?
Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality. Glad to have been of assistance.
Waves are beginning to...
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? For you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
He has a pen and everything. Here you go. You're welcome.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all the scribble. Tell me what it says. Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. Either way, I won't sign union papers. I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never planned to keep. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So no, I don't trust the fat man, and neither should you.
She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you?
Logic and reason won't work on this old bat. Better go for shameless emotional manipulation. What's the grandmother's deepest vulnerability? Does this feel like a good thing, though?
What do you mean? What's going to happen? We are gonna grow up, of course. I raised my own kids in this village and they are doing fine for themselves. No, they are good kids. I brought them up the right way. No, they moved to Faubourg for work. Well, I imagine they'll grow up and leave too.
You've got her. Now just reel her in.
Then,
Wait. Let her come to it herself.
I don't believe the Fat Man's Youth Center is going to change anything. But what other choice do we have? It's not like the coalition government is coming to save us. I won't be around much longer anyway. Not with the dampness in my bones. If they want to take a chance, who am I to stop them? Did you say something?
Reluctantly, she takes the pen from your hand, scribbles her name on the line, and hands everything back to you.
See that you didn't just get us all screwed. I might be half blind, but I have a good memory for treachery.
Let's go mail it.
He's not dissatisfied with you, but with himself.
What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes, let's...
Tequila Sunset.
Things have really turned around for you, haven't they? You've got big money problems now. Don't be shy, Tequila. Of course I'll do it. I'm your man. Your personal brand strategist, man. Now, I know I'm not your typical choice. I don't wear a suit, I'm not 100 years old, I'm not about to die tomorrow.
Not so sure about the last part, with all that drinking.
But I've got something the others don't. I'm on your level. And as I already understand your needs, I can marry my high-concept ideas with your brand easily. I'll help you make your mark.
Great can-do attitude, a billion real mindset, clinically insane energy. Hire him on the spot.
No, Tequila, no. I'm a professional, you see? I insist that you give me a formal interview. It wouldn't be fair on the other candidates if you didn't. What do you need to know?
What you truly want to know is, can you really trust your entire fortune to a drunk who lost his house keys while out for a jog?
I used to be a moderately high net worth individual myself, if I can say so. I've managed big money before, played the game, hustled the movers of the marketing world.
A subtle smile lights up his puffy face, like a ray of sun breaking through the stratosphere. He likes reminiscing.
At the Boom Boom Room, I directed a team of talent architects. People so high concept their names were nothing but a single letter. We had manic ideas, fueled by copious amounts of coffee-flavored whey powder. We did stuff no one had ever seen before, or since.
We're going to need examples here. Just going by one of your initials doesn't cut it. You're after measurable performance, not tales of happy memories. Numbers, please. How many years did he work? What profits did he earn?
Remember when Maria Capoleva caused an uproar by walking the red carpet in those slippers? The ones with the stick-on jiggly tits?
No, we don't.
That was me. I did that. We sold a lot of slippers that year. Tequila, tequila. Whatever's going on in my reality situation doesn't have any bearings on yours. This is all about you and your future. Ask me about that. Drinking is the fuel to my fire. Moistens me up to ensure the high concepts have a smooth landing. Ah, shit. Okay. Let me get a sip first. You see, net worth means nothing to the people of Martinez. Nada. No. For them to see your wealth, to really respect that, you need to convert it into something real, something tangible. The bigger the better. The Horseback Monument! That's the center of the district. They'd have to pay attention to that. We could get your name up there in lights. Damn thing's due for a reconceptualization anyway.
You're aware that monument is supposed to look like it's exploding. It doesn't need renovating.
I didn't say renovating. I said reconceptualization. It's medium concept shit is what it is.
The level of conceptualization could always be higher, yes. But what would it cost?
Nothing up front. That's because I always put the client first. My cut'll come out of the back end, after we've made you a sensation.
We really haven't got time for this. In case you've forgotten, we are supposed to be investigating a murder.
And forget about contractors and the like. This job I'm handling personally. Concept and execution. Any unexpected expenses we'll take care of later. Can't let price compromise the work. Easy. Sure, my man. Let's circle back whenever you want. Take your time. I'll be here.
The legend! He's back. And thirsty. I got smokes and piss and... Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
Tequila sunset.
Right on. That's it. I'm back. Sorry about that, my friend. This isn't about me. This is about you. Of course. A chance for you to give back to the community, to get your brand out there, to teach them your name. I can already see it. Tequila sunset, spelled out in cathode rays, luminous against the evening sky. There won't be a single kid in this town who doesn't know who you are.
This is a good moment to bring up his drinking. He'll get nothing done if he continues like that.
Whoa there! No need to worry about that. I've got it all under control. Besides, it helps with my creativity. Gets the business juices flowing, you know? I don't think I can do it. Sorry.
Some complex calculations are taking place in that intoxicated mind of his.
No, you're right. I've got to do this. I need this. All right. You know what, Tequila, you old rat? I'll consider your request. Give me half an hour, my friend. In fact, I demand you to sit down here and not move until I'm back. Open a beer. Chat with your old pals.
The lieutenant massages his temples and looks down at the ground. There is little time for this.
Relax. I see you both running around like maniacs, just back and forth, back and forth. Gotta live a little. Enjoy the sun.
He turns his swollen nose to face the sun, cheeks ruddy from the biting wind.
No, Tequila. Let me take care of it.
Before you know it, the man has put down the bottle, stood up, and left. Minutes pass. The clouds change shape up in the sky. You chat a bit with old Rosemary. Then, try to strike up a conversation with Don't Call Abigail about something other than Abigail. To no avail. It's all about Abigail. The lieutenant sits silent the entire time, preferring to focus on his notebook. Clearly, we have better things to do than sit down and chat with a bunch of drunks. After what feels like ages, you hear the fence creaking as if under a large weight. Look at him. Just look at him. It's Idiot Doomspyro. He's back, like a beast made of jaundice and fetid polypropylene. He returns locked in stiff combat with a most fearsome foe.
I know. ran into some problems there. Material shortages and the like. But don't worry, genius thrives under constraints. That's why you pay for the best.
He seems even more drunk than before.
Of course I am. When you're ready, and I don't think you ever will be, just head on over to the Horseback Monument. You'll see. World's gonna know about you, me, and the shiny numbers in our bank account.
The lieutenant closes his notebook and nods at you, ready to go.
But if there's anything else your old friend can do for you, let me know.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. It is surrounded by scaffolding that has been haphazardly erected around it. A matrix of metal tubes and wooden planks jut out at odd angles. A miserable tarpaulin covers up the horse and rider, flapping in the cold coastal air. There are no lights that spell out your name. No workers with calloused hands leering from above. Just construction materials displayed as if to mourn your misplaced dreams. There's not an ounce of artistry here. It's even worse than expected. That son of a bitch scammed you, probably to make fun of you. This is not what that personal brand strategist of yours promised. No one even knows that you're paying for this reconceptualization. Go and have a word with him. Find out what's going on. The old king looks defiantly to the west, wrapped in makeshift scaffolding like a mummy. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. For good or ill, the deed is done.
Let's go back to Everard. This better be worth it after what we did.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Hear that? You did it the honest way. You got the real signatures, and now he's happy. Well done. I don't know. Your dirty forgery fingers aren't sure if playing this one straight was the right thing to do. We would have preferred trickery, but the choice was yours, sire. As always, you are the liege, and you're in.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy, the one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building. As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt. Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Why a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
He really doesn't know. A guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
He really doesn't.
$2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off Risperazole.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored. And Risperazole is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies.
Understood.
It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering? Thank you, Harry, thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.